Hello, welcome back to my channel. I just filmed a video showing you guys how I did this look a few hours ago. I figured before I wash my makeup off, I will just do like a mini video while I still have a little bit of space on my phone before I get started on my other videos. So today I'm going to talk to you about my hair loss journey. So I am a recent cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. I didn't find out until after the fact that it was stage 3 cancer. I was led to believe that it was going to be like stage 1, and then they said stage 2, and then I asked like for specifics, and they're like, oh, we're gonna have to send you to a stageologist in order for them to tell you, and it's such a hassle. It's better you just focus on your treatment and other things. Don't worry about it, you're gonna be totally fine, and all of that. And I was fully expecting to lose my hair as a side effect of chemo, but I was under the impression that once chemo is over and it starts to get out of my system, that my hair would start to grow back. And for a minute it did. It grew back bone straight and kind of thin, but I was told that over time my original texture will return and it will slowly thicken back up over time and would be fine. But as quickly as my hair grew back, it fell right back out in pieces. And it wasn't just the hair on my head, it was the hair on my whole body. And now it's to the point where like I barely have any body hair, but any body hair that I do grow, it just falls right back off. Like every day in the shower is like hair just washes down the drain without me even trying. And like the only thing I shave is like my eyebrows, my head, and like my chin area, because I had like hormonal like facial hair that I would shave. Most of it falls off, but for the little stragglers I tend to shave that off before I do my makeup and stuff. So yeah, just like as soon as it grows, it falls right back out. I was initially told that it would grow back after I was done with chemo, and then I was told that it'll eventually grow back over time, don't worry about it. And then I was told that, oh, because of the drug I was taking, Keytruda, which is immunotherapy infusions that I was doing every 6 weeks for like a year. The only time I didn't do the Keytruda infusions is when I had my mastectomy and like I needed some time to heal from that. But then once the healing period kind of passed, I was right back into the Keytruda injections every 6 weeks like clockwork. And a side effect of Keytruda is that it causes damage to your thyroid. And I was initially under the impression that the damage will be temporary as soon as I stop the infusions and my body starts to go back to normal, that all the side effects from the medication would, slowly start to revert. And then I was told that the immunotherapy caused damage to my thyroid. And I have developed hypothyroidism. And they're not sure if this is a temporary side effect of the medication or if this is like a full-blown condition that I need to be concerned about and continue to medicate for. And I will be meeting with I think that she is called the endocrinologist in January. I had a meeting with her this summer, and then gonna meet back with her in January to check back and see what my levels are and whether or not it's a full-blown condition, and if it is, then what do I need to know about it. But if it is a full-blown like hypothyroidism medical condition, then my hair may never grow back, like ever. I may always have this issue of my hair being thin, bald spots, and constantly falling out as a result of the medical condition. I do take medication to help balance my thyroid hormones every morning, but that doesn't stop the hair loss. That doesn't stop the damage that has already been done, and that doesn't like do anything for all the other problems that I have going on with my body. At this point in my life, I don't like wigs, but I am kind of sick of being bald, and I am disappointed that my hair hasn't grown back as expected. I was I just had all these ideas about different type of things that I wanted to do with my hair and different styles, different hair colors. I started drawing out different hair accessories that I wanted to add to my hair once it started to grow out. I made Pinterest boards with like the different type of hairstyles, different type of hair colors that I wanted to experiment with, and I was excited. And every time I mention that I'm disappointed that my hair hasn't grown back, there's always somebody that's like,
well, you're beautiful with or without hair.
or well,
At least you pull off being bald.
it's like, that's not the point. I never said that I was ugly or that I don't feel like I'm pulling it off. I'm disappointed that my hair hasn't grown back because I was expecting it to grow back after chemo. And for me, growing my hair back was just a sign that I can start to put cancer behind me and all of the things that I've been through within the last year. It was just a sign of like being able to have a sense of normalcy. A sign of being able to like return back to normal, at least a little bit. I know that my life will never be the same as it was pre-cancer. I know that I am chronically ill. I know that there's a lot of things going on in my body that are permanently damaged, like my thyroid. When I was going through chemo, I experienced nerve damage, and I was initially told that I could try cryotherapy, which was literally just little bags of ice on my hands and feet to help prevent the damage from getting worse. And I can take different pills for nerve damage to help with like nerve damage pains. And then gradually over time it would get better and I wouldn't have to worry about it so much post chemo. And for the most part that's been true. Like I don't get a lot of nerve pains and like, I don't know, it's just like a stinging sensation. Like I don't get that so much in my hands and my feet, my arms and stuff. I do occasionally get it sometimes, but it's not as regular as it was before. And I just, like, it's not as bad as it was before, but it's still very prevalent. I still struggle to grip things, and I'm constantly dropping stuff, and I have no control over it. It doesn't matter what it is or how important it is, where I am or what I'm doing. I'm always dropping pens, pencils, makeup brushes, paint brushes, markers, makeup, setting spray, paper, folders, books, knives, forks, spoons, pots, pans, plates, bowls, cups, glasses. I have broken so many glass and ceramic things within the past year or so. It is insane. But my partner knows that I have nerve damage and that I don't have a lot of control over it. But one thing I have noticed is that stress makes the damage worse. Like whenever I'm stressed out or whenever I'm particularly anxious, I have less control over my body and what it does. So yeah, I hope that as the chemo and the Keytruda and all these medications that I have to take, I'm hoping that as that stuff starts to get out of my system and my body has some time to heal, that eventually I'll be able to grow my hair back again. But as of right now, that's not a reality for me. Even though I don't like wigs, I'm kind of sick of being bald, and I'm looking into wigs that I like. I'm very picky about them. I think most wigs are ugly unless they're very like good quality. Like I want a 100% human hair, full lace, bleach knots wig that isn't gonna look crunchy around the edges, that has realistic parts that look like scalp and not just this doll like thing. I don't want any with the bangs because every time they make a wig with bangs, instead of parting their hair here and then having it fall this way, they just do this weird triangle thing in the middle of your head and it just lays flat, and I freaking hate that. I physically cannot with synthetic wigs, and that is not me being bougie, but I'm legitimately allergic to that stuff. It makes my skin crawl. So don't comment, oh, you don't like wigs, so knock until you try it. I tried it. With my hair, I had some hair damage issues years ago. I used box black hair dye instead of my usual hair dyes and stuff. First of all, there wasn't a lot of hair dye options like 10-15 years ago like it is now. And back then, the only hair dye options I had if I wanted my hair to be black were standard box hair dye and Manic Panic. I used to use Manic Panic to dye my hair, but one time I bought a jar of purple Manic Panic and my hair turned green. No, not a purplish green, if that's even a thing, but my hair was a blatantly emerald green, and I obviously bought purple hair dye. I have no idea how this happened, but I didn't want to risk that happening, so I bought like some type of box hair dye. I had been warned against getting box hair dye in the past, and like I know better, but I got it because I wanted my hair to be black, and it caused so much damage, so much dryness, like it really damaged my hair. So I ended up cutting my hair off, and then I was like, well, I'm just gonna put on some wigs like my friends do until my hair grows back long enough, and then once my hair grows back long enough, then I'll start getting braids and styling it the way that I want, and all that. So that's what I did. And then I got a job. I got 2 different jobs that required me to wear wigs. And then that's when I started to resent wearing wigs because I had to wear it for work. And like I couldn't exist without those wigs, and they were making my skin crawl. There was no amount of washing, shampooing, conditioning, soaking, or anything that would have made those wigs work for me. Like my skin was suffering, and I still had to wear them even though it was irritating my skin because I wasn't allowed to exist without those wigs. I ended up leaving both of those jobs because, you know, they ended up not working out for me for other reasons. But that's like kind of my big thing where I don't like wearing wigs to this day, because I remember when I was put in a position to where I was forced to wear wigs, and when they made my skin crawl, and how I just had texture issues. So before I got cancer, I had a mohawk for years, and when my hair started to grow out, the wig would be on my scalp kind of unevenly because it would only be hair in the middle of my head. And then as far as like my scalp goes, it wouldn't work for me. Like, it just felt so uneven and I didn't like it. And also, anytime I wore a wig, either my hair had to be in this matted, padded, dry mess under a wig cap, or I had to braid my hair or twist my hair down, like do flat twists or French braids to make my hair fit under the wigs. And half the time I didn't feel like doing it. But if I put on a wig without flattening my hair first, it would just turn weird and pointy, and I hated that. I didn't have a good time wearing them towards the end of my wig wearing journey. and I don't enjoy the way that most wigs look. If it's not full lace, if it's not fully human hair, if I can't bleach it and style it the way that I want, the same way that I would with my actual hair, and have it actually look nice, then I don't want it. I don't want a lace front, because I find that lace fronts only leave, like, the only part they leave as the lace is like the very middle of the head. They don't put lace around the sides. So if you wanted to do something with your hair besides just wear a plain old center part and straight, then you wouldn't be able to do that. And I personally do not like center parts. I think that side parts look better. That may just be me and, you know, my own personal preference, but that is me. I also do not enjoy the way that straight hair looks on me. I straightened my hair for years. I have a high-end hair straightener that works amazingly till this day, and I don't even know where it is, but I haven't used it in years. I used to sneak and perm my hair as a kid. I wasn't allowed to perm my hair, but I would use my allowance and go and buy a box of perm and perm my own hair. And then over time, I learned how to straighten my hair without a perm using coconut milk and lime juice. Just get like a can of coconut milk and lime juice, squeeze it in there, add some olive oil to make it a little bit soft. Let it soak in your hair like a deep conditioner, the same way you would with a perm. And then rinse it out after about 30 minutes, blow dry, and straighten your hair. And it'll be straight the same way as if you did it with a perm, but without the chemicals. If you have coarser hair, you may need to do this about 2 or 3 times before getting that perm like results. But I'm telling you, like, my hair could be wet, I could wash it and everything, and it would still be straight. And I just got to a point where I didn't like straight hair anymore, because I didn't like that I was brought up to believe that in order to be presentable to the world, my hair had to be straightened. In order for my hair to be considered done, it had to be straightened. In order for me to so-called look like an adult, it had to be straightened. In order for me to look professional, it had to be straightened, and I just reject all of that. And I wouldn't wear my natural hair for years. I would say like almost 10 years. Like, I had natural hair, I didn't straighten it, I hardly blow dried it. I could probably count on my one hand how many times I straightened my hair within the last 10 years. Like, it had to be less than 5. I didn't straighten my hair to cut my ends or anything. So, like, I don't know, I have a unique relationship with hair. I have my own relationship with wigs. I have my own views and thoughts about it. And I just feel like unless I have like $400 sitting around to buy a high-end human hair full lace wig that I can bleach and dye however I want, and it's not gonna make my skin crawl, and I have the money to like buy all the bleach and hair dye and all that stuff to prep it and style it the way that I want to, I don't even want to dive in that rabbit hole. I feel like if I were to wear wigs, I wouldn't want just one wig. I would want like 20 of them. And the kind of wigs that I would ideally want are like $300-400. That's what they start at. But I don't want the crappy wigs they sell in the stores. I don't want the wigs from Amazon. I don't want the synthetic hair. I don't want the center parts. I don't want the ugly bangs. I don't want the no part wigs. I don't want the doll like ones. I don't want the super shiny, plasticky looking ones. I don't want the Halloween ones. I don't want none of it. So if I can't have it the way that I want to have it, then I'd rather just not have it at all and not be bothered. Even though it's October, it's still like in the 80s where I'm at now, and I don't want all of that on my scalp. I don't feel like committing to it. Whenever I did wear wigs before I had sensory issues, I would get sick of wearing them after like 2 or 3 hours, and I did not want to commit to wearing them for a full 8, 10, 12 plus hour days. Like, I don't want to be bothered. So yeah, that is my relationship with hair and wigs and my journey with hair loss. So hopefully my hair grows back eventually as the Keytruda and everything gets out of my system and my thyroid starts to recover. Hopefully it's not a full-on hypothyroidism autoimmune condition, because that just doesn't even make any sense. I took immunotherapy to help build my immune system, to help protect my body from the cancer I had, but also to protect my body from getting cancer again, but also to help protect me from getting other viruses and stuff that would be detrimental to me as an autoimmune compromised person. So it doesn't make sense for me to develop an autoimmune condition as a result of trying to protect my immune system. Like, I don't know, make it make sense. It's just, I don't know, it's a lot. But yeah, that is my journey with hair loss. If you have any questions, list them below. If you can relate in any way, list it below. Feel free to share your own journey with hair loss and everything. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.